Well, everybody, we have a fun array of different regulators and associations that we support, work with, answer to. NOMAR is probably one that you're most familiar with in the front end, besides LREC. And I think it's really important that we all know who that is. And we send. Did we just send money there? Or are we sending money there? That was LREC. This is so confusing now that it's like 20 different requests for money throughout the year.
Get the email, just send the money.
Pennies will fall from the sky. Anyway, so the CEO of NOMAR is Alice Clark, and she is with us this morning. So please welcome Alice Clark. Thank you. Come to have a chat. Glad to finally introduce you to our people. And you and I have spoken before in person and on the phone. And can you make sure that light goes green for me? Thank you. I don't want you to triple.
Yeah.
You might want to just bundle that up and just throw it in a pocket so you don't trip on it.
Is that better?
Worried about you. Yeah, that's
okay.
All right. That came up.
Okay.
So we built this so that we can have total hybrid, Zoom, everything. And
I love it. You have a beautiful space.
Thank you.
Very, very nice.
Zoom,
I love the.
Yeah.
It's very welcoming. I appreciate that. So.
Well, we're glad to have you here. I think, first of all, just give everybody the 30-second on who Alice Clark is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Alice Clark. I am from Ruston. I don't know, it's north central Louisiana. A lot of people don't even know where it is, but it's
we're
amazing.
In the boot.
We're 50 miles from the Arkansas line up to El Dorado Junction City and then El Dorado. And I started in the business about 20 years ago. I've been on your side of the transactions. I did get my real estate license, but because I worked for a broker and helped him train his agents, he didn't allow me to do any transactions. So unless he and I did them together, if there was something that came up that we couldn't get anyone else to take or that was a little bit challenging, I helped him with his BPOs and all of those wonderful things.
So you were in the thick of it.
I was, and so a lot of my income at that time was based on a commission. So we had to produce in order for me to make what I needed to make to stay there. But I loved it, fell in love with it because I'd previously been working in a family business that we sold, which was a lumber and hardware business, and when the bubble burst, and y'all all know when that happened, I was kind of floundering. We weren't.
You're talking about Great Recession, I'm assuming?
Yes.
The second to last bubble?
Yeah, the second to the last.
For those of us who've been in it a little while.
Yeah, so 2008 was about 2008.
7, 8, 9.
Things started declining just a little bit, and I was needing a little bit more challenge, and so the MLS director at the local association in Monroe, Louisiana, which is 30 miles from Ruston, that MLS director became available, and I went to work at the association with the intent that in 2.5 years or so I would probably be phased into the AE position. And 15 months later, the current AE decided he was moving back to Baton Rouge, and so I was kind of thrust into everything. Had to learn a lot of stuff really fast, and but it was it's very rewarding work. You have to understand that you can't make everybody happy every day. But so about a year ago, in February, I thought I was going to retire. And a friend of mine who is still working, she's a colleague of mine, we thought we might have a consulting business together. So I started to dabble in that a little bit, and just within a very few weeks' time, I got a call from Liz Tardo and Ginger Wiggins at NOMAR, and I was asked to come in on a consulting basis for management concerns, and then about a year ago, I was asked to take the position of the CEO, and so I'm here for at least 3 years. So I drive back and forth to Ruston on the weekends to be with my family, but I have learned a lot about South Louisiana and the New Orleans area and have fallen in love. And so I have a house in Metairie, and we still have our home in Ruston. My husband's still working, and I have 2 grandbabies. If you want to see pictures or ask me about them.
Your office has some great pictures of your family, and we're all about family here, and so that all clicks.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I like to run the office too.
Yeah.
It's a family.
Well, that's the best part about real estate. If we
is.
get rid of this family thing, I mean, most of us are in real estate because we love an aspect of the business, and because it works for the lifestyle we really want, which is to have freedom and flexibility. And we're willing to work Saturdays and Sundays, but part of those days, and then we're right back at work on Monday.
Right.
So tell me real quick. So now you're CEO of NOMAR. NOMAR has approximately how many members?
We hover around between 7,000 and 7,000 and 7,200 in that area.
What's happened to that number in the last 2 years? Or since you've been, and I'm not attributing it to you being CEO. I'm just curious, kind of what the trends you're seeing.
So I'll tell you what history I know, or what I have. Now, in our renewals for the MLS, we did see a drop. It was only about 7%. We don't know what the renewals will look like, of course, yet, because we just did our news billing for 2025. There are some people who are they're having to get out of the business because they don't have enough to generate the income that they need, or they're having to supplement.
Transaction counts down.
Exactly.
Volumes are down.
Exactly.
So, all right. So NOMAR is a not-for-profit.
NOMAR is nonprofit,
and it is a 100% owner of GISRIN, the Gulf South Real Estate Information Network, which is a for-profit entity.
Correct.
Okay. We just saw lawsuits and all these things and settlements. Is this the right setup for going forward?
Because we have joined forces with Greater Baton Rouge, Bayou Board, Realtor Association of Acadiana, and Greater Central Louisiana Association, to have Rome, which is our current MLS platform provider of all of the MLS services, and we're still working out all of the details. That's a relatively new. I know y'all heard a lot about it probably within the last 5 years or so. We had heard about it in Monroe. We had considered it in Monroe, but I think because of this area and where we're located, and where the general across the I-10 corridor, it just makes more sense to be a part of a shared data share with the MLSs, but having your local products and services that can also be provided to you through the association. So are we where we need to be in Rome? We're getting there.
Because I haven't seen one place where that's helpful besides, I think we had one Baton Rouge listing that we didn't have to join G-Bar for.
Yeah.
That was it, right? And when I say we, I mean my brother-in-law with the team.
Yeah.
But what should it be? I guess maybe let's back up. What do you see the value? What value do you believe NOMAR should be providing to its members?
Well,
and I'm leaving the MLS out. I'm going straight to NOMAR.
So you don't want. Okay.
Well, we actually, you know what? Take it whatever direction you want. We can go there.
Well, a lot of people don't like to hear that of the advocacy that's provided for you through the Realtor Association, but it's very important. We had a.
Why would that?
Why is it important?
No, that baffles me. That really baffles me because I think that the United States is I'm fairly sure by every metric I've seen, the deepest, most highly valuable place in the world to own real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not think you can pull apart the job that NAR and all of the sub-entities underneath it have done advocating for property rights and different policies and that value and that appreciation. I just don't, I think our system works, so why is that not?
Well,
I don't think I'm that smart.
Well, I just think we have to have the connections because yesterday a group met with, excuse me, Temple, the insurance commissioner, over in Mandeville, at the Mandeville office, and sat down a lot like this. It was a much smaller group. They requested a smaller group, so it was hard to keep that small because everybody wants to hit on the insurance commissioner. But having those frank conversations and having them give us direction about what we can do to help them in Baton Rouge is important. Mm-hmm. It's knowing, it's understanding and knowing there are people that are in Baton Rouge for that are having their pockets lined, as they say, but there are people there who really care, who got into politics or ran for the legislature to help, to absolutely help the consumer, to help the constituents. And
some for trial attorneys, probably.
What?
And some for trial attorneys.
Well, there's a few of those that
One or
are
two.
That are
ex-governors.
Yeah, that are actually serving right now, and it's up to us.
Sure,
we can make a difference, and what they told us in making a difference is gathering those people together, the 30 or so that they mentioned, and having the conversation with them. Hey, we want to help you. Tell us what we need to do to get things changed. And it's advocating not just that, but on the local level. We do have a new governmental affairs director. I encourage you to have her come by.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Suzanne Whitaker. And this, I don't know if you're participated in or attended one of the broker road shows that.
Did not.
Okay. They are happening all over our 10 parish area that we serve, and it is we're bringing the message we're bringing is all about the changes that you're experiencing in your how you're having to change doing your business if you weren't already doing it, and the advocacy piece, bringing in local leaders and telling them, hey, these are the problems that we're seeing in these areas that we need you to help us with, whether it be rental issues or long-term, short-term rental issues, and being able to bend their ear to let them know we're here, we're a force, we need you to hear us, we need your help. And so I encourage you.
So lots of advocacy on all different levels.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's one of the 10. So that's one of your core.
That's one of them.
Okay. What would you say your others are?
Providing education to the members. This year, I don't know if anyone participated in this room in getting your ABR, which was early on in the year.
We did have some people.
We had it in February.
They actually paid before it became free, but yes.
Okay. But getting it for $50 in person, was it not great? I mean, yeah.
No, we had some adopters of that.
Yeah. So I think we're going to continue that and continue to provide opportunities for you to enhance your knowledge and your ability to get out there, continue to make real estate your business. We're planning to bring in the RENE this year, which is the Real Estate Negotiating Expert Certification. So I've reached out to Lynn Madison about coming in and doing that. If she can't, we will get somebody here to do it early on in the year.
So advocacy, education.
Yes.
Is there a third?
Well, everybody wants to find value in the MLS, the most value, of course, in the MLS. And
we use it every day.
You do. And if there was one thing if I was going to say something to somebody new in the business, which I did a lot, was spend some time in your office with other colleagues who have been in the business so you can understand the lingo and understand what they're talking about. The other item I would say is spend some time every day in the MLS so you can navigate it. And participate at the local level in the association on committees. We have had I think it was like 498% more interactions with members coming in and serving on committees this year. And I think it's made a difference in a lot of ways. I mean, of course, we have, things going on like the food drive, like y'all have going on, and we've had other things during the year, but the year's not over, and we have other things that are coming up that I'm going to let Addie share with y'all if you have a minute for her, and but the value is that we need you to lean on us. We need you to call us when you have a problem. You don't have to call the president of the association. Call the CEO. Let me know what's going on. If I can't help you, I will find somebody who can.
Well, and I will say, Holly and Jean deal with, membership-related issues on a weekly basis a lot of times. Yes. And we always get very good service from
our relationship with NOMAR is
very strong.
Huge.
And you've never needed to be escalated to. It gets handled.
Yes, because when recently, when there was so much changeover at NOMAR, we had to go back and reestablish those relationships with especially with membership and different things like that.
Well,
it's extremely important.
What I found when I came in was that we did have a lot of dysfunction on the second floor. I think there was a lot of mistrust among the staff and mistrust between the staff and maybe the board, and that is a culture that we've really worked on mending and getting those relationships better and open. Let's talk about it. Let's all work together to make this work, because that's why we're there. We're there to help you all, and if we can't work together, we can't help you. If we are not all on the same page and we're not understanding that I may not have that what they need may not be in my wheelhouse of knowledge or things that I can do. I can pass this on to someone else who can. But we all are working together for the good of the association, and I think that's something that we've been able to turn the tide on. I believe that we have. I think we have a great group right now, professionals. We've brought our legal counsel in-house.
Probably good timing for that. But let's stay on this organizational health thing, because I do think one
other one.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Professional standards.
Okay.
So.
And that's probably expanding, because the way I interpret this buyer-brokers agreement issue is that you now have a badge, a bigger badge than you had before, at least.
Well,
where am I right and wrong here?
You are not wrong. I will tell you that I appreciate how professional standards works inside the organization. Coming from a 700-member association to a 7,000-member association, it was eye-opening to me, because in a 700-member association in Northeast Louisiana, you have folks who work together every day. They know everybody. They know everything about everybody. They know the dirty laundry. They know the clean laundry. They know it all. And so they don't want to it was hard to fix things because people didn't want to file complaints because I've got to work with them next week. Well, if you don't let us know what the problem is, we can't correct it, and we can't. It's not about instituting a fine that is astronomical or disciplinary action that's not doable. It's about correcting a bad behavior so that it doesn't continue. Because one person, all it takes is one person to give a realtor a bad name to a whole community of people or consumers, and we don't want that to happen. So I do. I believe another one of the values is the professional standards that we offer and arbitration, and that's I have used my professional standard skills more here than I ever thought that I would ever use them.
I
ever.
don't see filing complaints as a problem on this board.
Yeah.
But let's go to organizational health. You all raised dues recently, I believe, right?
No, we did not.
You certainly raised new member from $50 to $250. Right?
In the new member fees?
Mm-hmm. The initiation fee. Thank you.
Oh, the initiation fee. Okay.
So I'm curious, and then didn't we have another increase in dues? No?
You
I got that wrong?
You did not have an increase in your annual dues for the local association. You did last year for the
NOMAR?
national.
Okay.
You did.
So how are the coffers at the association?
Um,
Because y'all don't publish financials to your
No,
members.
but we welcome you to come in if you want to sit down with someone who knows what they're doing and can explain it all to you. We're happy to.
Okay.
Yeah, we're happy to sit down with you. But NOMAR is financially stable. We are looking into doing some upgrades to the building to make it more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. On the inside, it's been 20 years since the building since Katrina, and so the building needs some attention.
But you all have healthy reserves. You have a healthy
Yes.
budget. You have a healthy. Everything's working. Why was the decision made to make it more expensive for people to join? Do you have any color on that?
I don't,
Okay.
because
I just thought that was odd, given
Yeah.
the environment where people are
Yeah.
slowing down joining real estate anyway.
I
and think
can't
that's a
answer
way
that,
to
but I can
stop it.
definitely get an answer for you.
So, I appreciate that. So let's talk about three quick things that have transpired over the last year or so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you a little sandwich here. They're not all bad.
Okay.
So the first one was Paragon.
Oh,
We did not move to Paragon, as everybody knows. You and I had to sit down. You told me face to face, we're not going to force you to Paragon. That's still the thing. You can tell us all here.
Okay.
We're not moving to Paragon.
Paragon will be an option in the future. What the Paragon Paragon Connect that we tried to transition, so many offices tried to transition to, we found out kind of after the fact, in which you do in some of these situations, that product wasn't quite ready to handle what we needed it to do for us. And so we continue with CoreLogic. You will always be able to continue with CoreLogic. Right now, it's a broker decision whether you are on what MLS platform you are on, with whether it be Paragon or CoreLogic, and there will be another option in the future. It is Flex. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Flex.
I have a question. So
Sure.
at this time, a brokerage can be in both Paragon?
Not yet. I think what she's about to tell you is that eventually on the roadmap is the ability for me to use Paragon, MJ to use Flex, somebody else to use whatever they want, and you can just go in your member portal and pick which software you want to be on.
Right. we're on the road to that. We're working right now. The Rome Board of Managers is currently working on getting the single point of entry so that we all enter the information at the same place.
In a uniform way.
Yes.
And then it can be in multiple systems.
Exactly. Yes.
Question about that.
Sure.
Yeah, because I listed a property in Redlands, a couple properties, and I thought we had a beautiful thing called Rome MLS, and apparently that wasn't seem to be working very well. And the response I received from the Bayou Board of Realtors was just disgraceful to any agent in this office or any agent in the whole state of Louisiana. That they didn't have any respect for me or my office or what we do here at all. They just cared about Rome MLS, and the data didn't go over, and they didn't care to put it in their system. And I was like, wow. I said, I think you've kind of lost the point of what the hell this is about here.
Yeah.
So I'd love to get your email. I'll send you a copy of that because I think you ought to see it.
I would love to see
And
that.
I think that, when I responded to them that you have a responsibility to myself and all the other agents, they didn't like that either. But
I'm so sorry. My email is alice@nomar.org in case anybody wants it.
And we can connect y'all. Okay, and we are going to leave some time for questions. Okay, so that was one thing. Thank you for reasserting that because I think we were all
No
very
worries.
happy. We were all very happy, and then I think there were some people that were jealous of our foresight, and they started saying, "Well, we're told you're going to have to," and that's when we started.
That was never the case.
I'm not saying
and I know,
it came from
that
you.
was
I
never
know
the
who
case.
it came from.
But I will tell you
I can
this.
say exactly what their name rhymes with.
Okay, but
we
I
don't
will
need to
tell
do
you
that.
that I love the Paragon product. It is a great product. It's a great platform. The problem was it wasn't ready for us.
For prime time.
It wasn't. It wasn't ready for the Rome.
Right. So, a great one that y'all implemented, Forewarn.
Mm-hmm.
In general, I am very against all these third-party applets that we're paying fees for that most people are not even using. But I think Forewarn, there's very few things we can do short of teaching jujitsu, which is kind of silly, to agents for their protection. Forewarn has been used. Who uses Forewarn regularly in this office?
I use
Okay.
it. I have to use it sometimes.
That's the room. Yeah. Thanks, Cody, for that clap. I mean, that is vital data.
It is.
I think that I almost wish it was right in there. Even deeper in. I wish CoreLogic would just buy them and implement it straight in. So anyway, that's a huge thing.
And I would like to say on the behalf of Forewarn, if you are not using it, please connect with Taylor at the NOMAR office. She can get you connected with Forewarn. It is a vital tool in your business.
It really is. Putting a name in has saved us, before you go on an appointment, has saved multiple people in this office from walking in. Well, it's just saved them from situations that they didn't realize they were putting themselves in potential danger.
And lots of fraud.
And lots of fraud. Third, the listing agreement debacle. We had a big implementation deadline. I know y'all were very busy. I don't doubt that. NOMAR rolled out the new listing agreement 2 days before the implementation date. So they rolled out on Friday. Implementation date was a Sunday. Unfortunately, we use the number one e-signature program in the world, DocuSign. I never say unfortunately DocuSign together usually. But because of the
Dotlink's
copyright.
not a product for KW agents anymore? Y'all moved away from Dotlink?
So Keller Williams stopped paying. Keller Williams franchisor stopped paying for it.
Okay.
In 2018, 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were paying for it additionally, which it's arm plus leg because who's it owned by?
Yeah, it's
Zillow.
It is.
Right?
It is.
So,
And you can knock them around all you want, and I'm not going to.
Well, no,
I get it.
Yeah,
And I get it.
And maybe we should come back to that, which I
Yeah,
wasn't
we
planning
will.
on. But so then we went 21 days before it showed up in DocuSign because of the copyright protections NOMAR puts in their documents, and DocuSign refused to allow us to independently upload it. So just, I think we were waving our hands, screaming for our lifeboat, saying, "Hey, we know this we see this happening. Can we get anything started?" And that was frankly a big miss as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
So I would tell you, I guess I look at companies like Keller Williams and Compass, and when I look at producing agents, my math, and this could be wrong, says if producing agents on the board, our two companies make up a third of your membership.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a fair guess? Within a couple of percentage points?
Yeah, I would say.
And when I look at the board membership, I'm disappointed that there's a lot of people with maybe that are with very small offices
Board of Directors.
on the board of directors, which I'm guessing those are the people who you go to for guidance, advice.
They're the decision makers.
They're the decision makers.
Since you're not working selling real estate, I'm more involved with
Well, I told you I'm working on being a statesman. So thank you. So I guess we're in a tough business.
Yeah.
Margins are compressed. There's no joke. Who here is on salary? Right? So yeah, like there you go. So in most I think trade association situations I've been in, other businesses I've owned, we've had someone on salary that we say, hey, part of your job is going to be on committees and do these things. This is strictly volunteer, and for people who are really serious business people, time is the one thing that we only have 24 hours in a day for.
Right.
So if you're busy and a top producer, it is really hard to get a top producer, I'm guessing, on those committees. And I would hope that there's a conduit that we can open between your biggest clients at the end of the day, which I would say is us and that website from Manhattan, and I mean all Keller Williamses, so that we can kind of give you the quick, hey, here's the yes or the no. I think we could give you one point of contact from Keller Williams region in the, of all the offices, and let that rotate. But if that would be something y'all be open to, I think that could be really
Yes,
valuable.
absolutely.
Because no one's calling. No one's calling saying, hi, Jeffrey, how does this affect your 120 people?
I understand.
No one. That just doesn't happen.
Why aren't they calling?
Why aren't the board of directors calling or the staff calling?
Right. Why is it a one-way street with your organization?
Can I tell you my?
Okay.
And I would love you to fix this.
Okay.
And
All right.
And I'm not trying to. For those online, David asked, why aren't people calling us? And the perception I have is that we are that real estate, that a lot of real estate is still operating in a very parochial manner. And the broker-centric world has not been alive and well in real estate. Remember, 1 in 5 transactions in the United States is done by who?
Keller Williams.
A Keller Williams agent. 1 in 5. Yet our associations across the country, and this is not looking at you like and pointing, but associations across the country are still geared, and the LRC for that matter, for a broker-centric model. And the industry has mostly moved forward except for the people that are still in these, they're still supporting it. Yeah, that's my take. I don't know if that's a
Okay.
fair one or you can.
Okay, so why aren't we calling? Why aren't the board of directors calling? I personally have seen, since I've been here, have seen a little bit of a tide turn in where we have seen the need to have someone out in the field. I wish it could be me. I do.
No, you're the CEO. You've got lots to do.
Well, I do, but I do wish it could be me because that's one of those. I mean, it's one of my gifts. I think is that I can go to people and I can talk to them and I can help them. I can make them maybe feel better sometimes. But that's why we have Addie on board doing that now. She has actually been going into the broker's offices. She doesn't make appointments. She just pops in and visits with those that are there. We haven't made it to all 700 yet offices, but we're getting there.
Well, most of them aren't even open. If you drive by most real estate offices, do it. Go pull a Google map. Just type in brokerage, real estate brokerage in Google Maps, and you're going to be shocked how many addresses there are. Then over half of them are going to be the homes of a solo broker. Is that fair? Shaking her head for the record
Yeah,
there. And then the other ones,
that.
if they do have an office, they aren't there. I know because I go knock on the door and look. Or you just see the UPS notices on the front that tells you that they're not there. So
other than broker meetings like we're going to have on Friday, do you think that there is an audience that would like to have similar not broker meetings, but on the agent level. Let me tell you the problem we run in, the most common problem that we run into there. Most brokers don't want us giving information on how to fill out a form or a.
I think that's kind of well. I think,
but I'll tell you that.
But you see the parochial issues that we have stuck here.
We've actually had some ask for that, and we don't do that. That's not who we are.
Right. I do think that's outside of your scope of teaching how to use a form. I get that.
We should be able to talk to you about creating the form.
Yeah, so we do have, and my encouragement to you, if you have something that you're passionate about, if there's something specific, we probably have a committee for you, and one might be the forms committee.
What if we don't want to be on a committee? We just say, I got a question or an idea that maybe you should push forward. Where do we go with that?
Okay.
Let me ask that question.
Okay. Because the forms are created, the one that was created in-house or any of that are NOMAR branded forms, you would need to speak to the in-house counsel, which is Bailey Morse, and she is bailey@nomar.org.
B-A-I-L-E-Y.
That's correct, and she can take your concerns to the forms committee, because honestly, we're not done with all this.
Right.
This is going to be an ongoing change. I mean, NAR has not even signed off on and the DOJ have not signed off on the total agreement, and that won't happen until late November.
Maybe.
And maybe, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I think there's a lot of things. I think the elections got something to do with it. I think that the DOJ is feeling its oats of how far it can push antitrust. I think they're looking to see really hard if we took this as an industry seriously, and there's practice changes.
You're not wrong.
I think that, what's one of the biggest things we yelled, which was, and we don't really yell, but we said, do not try to circumvent the rules to keep the old system. Mm-hmm. Fall in to place with the new rules and the new practices, and we'll be fine, which is my belief today. And I think a lot of people are, and I think in general, most realtors have come a long way. Let me, because we've got to go, and I want to leave a couple questions, and give Addie a chance to share some events. We've been dragged through the mud by lawyers, by the media. Clients are wondering our value. I think the need for an association is as great as ever.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I'm not one of these, we should all just be independent people and just be agents without an association. I think we're better together. I think we need an association because we should be willing to pay to outsource some legal help, some forms creation, some advocacy. That's what we're doing, everybody. Mm-hmm. You're getting the great deal that you're getting on the backs of that fee, which I think there's a lot of people that don't do any real estate that we get the value of, and they keep paying their fee. So what's your vision for kind of your next 24, 36 months for the association?
Well, I will tell you that the association has hired T360, which is T and then 360. Mm-hmm. The group, I don't know if you've
Very
heard
familiar, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Pool.
Yeah, to come in and facilitate the strategic plan. And if you have not participated in the survey that went out to the membership yesterday, I would appreciate it if you would.
You can get free dues for a year as a prize,
right? We have 3 prizes out there. We would love to have the participation, and I would love for it to be more than 13%.
I did mine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have hired them to come in and tell us any deficiencies that we have as far as within the staff, and any restructuring that needs to be done moving forward with the board of directors. We have 3 boards at NOMAR. We have the NOMAR board of directors, we have the Jesrin board of directors, and we have the commercial investment division board of directors, and they're all
They all have a vision.
They all have a vision, and they may not all be the same. So we're trying to get to create.
Alignment.
We are.
That's good.
I mean, we need to. We all need to work together.
So you're making a strategic plan. That's the first
Strategic
thing. And there
plan.
probably hasn't been one of those in how long? At
Well,
NOMAR?
there was one 3 years ago, but I don't think anyone was happy with it. You know what?
It was a Rosemary strategic plan.
Probably.
Got it. Okay.
Probably.
Say no more. If you have questions about that, ask me later
Yeah.
offline.
But you know, there are a lot of changes coming. I would like to see, after going to the T360 conference recently, I would like to see the association invest in AI and where we're headed with that. That is absolutely.
Anybody? Thank you. Okay. There we go. That'd be something.
That is
An AI
my,
search tool. That'd be great.
Yes, and my proposal is going to be that we have put a task force together. If you're interested, if that's something that you're interested in, so that we can move forward with. I mean, that's where we're headed, people. I mean,
Yeah,
that's where
sure.
we are.
Well, I'm really grateful for you sharing all this, and I want to open up for a couple questions. I want to ask you one favor.
Sure.
Going forward, I would love it if we treated, if the board made a wholesale change that they treated agents the exact same as brokers. They pay the same. They are far outnumber brokers. Broker just means you took the pre-licensing class again and another 90 hours. And I think that this dual class of service and of recognition is, I think it's 2025 coming up here. I think we're way past time that we can recognize agents as full-fledged members of the association and treat them as such. So that's my request. So who's got Cody, you had a question? I'll let you start.
Alice, thanks for coming.
Sure.
Appreciate it. This may have been right whenever you came on, but inside of Matrix, there was this instant offer through Zillow button. And I know there's a relationship with Showing Time. I'm just really curious, like, what is that relationship? Does NOMAR get money or pay money to Zillow? My concern is Zillow is in a direct competition to our agents.
They're a broker now.
And as we think about AI and good LLM models future, like, they're probably the most posed to, like, act on that as a competitor to our agents. And so what is that relationship? Are we in bed with them, or how does that look?
Well, the Showing Time contract is through Rome. So it's not just Jezreel or NOMAR members, it's all of the Rome members who are a part of the Showing Time contract. And I don't see any additional services being added on. I mean, I know that Zillow has pitched something new to the agents recently, and that would be on an individual basis. But as far as moving forward in the Showing Time contract, it's right now we looked at Broker Bay, which is a Supra product.
Okay.
It wasn't as robust as Showing Time as far as being able to help and make the appointments, because we're moving away. One of the associations still use the call center that they always used, and it's very expensive, but we're moving away to more of everything being app-based, online-based, and that sort of thing. So I may not have answered your question exactly, but
I think one of the parts that I'm curious is, do we pay for does Rome pay Showing Time to have that app?
yes.
Okay. And then the data. What data does so then Zillow's free to keep all that data?
No.
Well, Showing Time is.
No. Not
Well, what happens?
Not inside the contract.
So I go and I click on your listing and I go to I'm going to show it today at 4:00. Who keeps? Zillow possesses that data, right? Because they're giving you the stats on how many showings
We're providing them that data through Rome. Actually, it's through a feed,
Okay.
a RETS feed. So actually, it's over API right now. So it is not. It's within the contract. If we ever left showing time or we didn't renew, they can't have that information. They can't keep that information.
Got it.
Is
So
that what
would
you're
end.
asking?
I'm trying to see what I'm trying to assess is what advantage are they gathering that's better that over another broker? Because I think there is some language I'll have about brokers and their organization member or association members having equal, fair shakes and things like that. And so and you can start to see it. I mean, Zillow is very clear in their 10Ks and in their publicly traded filing documents that they are building a revenue bridge. They're either going to get it from us from Premier Agent, or they're going to get it from us because we have to use some of their ancillary services. And I think that they can charge less potentially, or I wouldn't be surprised if the day comes soon where they are paying you to have showing time in as the Rome app because the data they get is so good. So of course, because this data is so valuable, they can make a better product, they can invest more in it, and they can beat out Supra, who only gets money from the app, which I'm sure that helped them that we can't share lockbox. Well, we never shared lockbox keys, but when they're physical, but you definitely can't now.
Why is that?
What do you mean? Why is that?
Probably one of the most important things, I think, like
A lockbox?
of a realtor, right, and how to run a professional organization. That means I have professional photographers that are licensed and insured, and I have a professional, appraisers can have access to lockbox.
Well, so that's. I think you're taking another question. I think one of David's issues has always been why can we not give lockbox keys to licensed insured professionals that are subs like you can in other associations?
Yeah, other associations do allow it. It's not something that's come up since I've been here. I mean, like home inspectors.
Yeah, exactly. Photographers, guys we work with every day. I mean, it seems kind of a very primitive approach. And what do we do to change that? That's my question.
That would be something that would go to the MLS or to Jezreel Board of Directors. I'm trying to keep all the managers and the
And what
boards.
do I need to do to do that? I go show
Send
up?
an email.
Tell me.
Tell me.
Tell me, because right now we don't have an MLS. I am your direct point of contact for MLS.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
One more question.
Let me take that hat off real quick.
Anybody else?
Put this one on.
We good? Well, Alice, thank you so much. We really
Sure.
appreciate it.
Well, thank
Thanks
you for
coming.
having me,
You're
and I
welcome
appreciate
anytime,
it.
and
You have
we'd
a
love to hear from you
beautiful
regularly.
office, and this is
Well,
Addie
I was going to
McKee.
invite her right now to
Yeah.
come give us a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Addie
Be careful with
is-
that wire.
Sure.
Watch your trip.
She's our affiliate relations, sponsorships, and events coordinator, but she's also a liaison to the broker offices and going in and just making contacts and letting you know if you have questions, who you need to contact. So I'm going to let her
All right,
tell a
thank
little about what we have going on there.
So real quick, tell us. You get 2 minutes.
I don't need that long.
Good. I love that.
Do I need this?
Yes.
Is it
The
working?
people online hear that.
Okay, so I'm Addie. I am the affiliate relations, sponsorship, and events coordinator for NOMAR.